I'm here with Dr. Reginald DesRoches, Dean of the George R. Brown School of Engineering at Rice University. Dr. DesRoches, you are creating Black history even as we speak, as you prepare to become the provost at Rice University. When does that start and what will your role be?
That starts July 1st of this year, so I have a few more months, and I'll be the Chief Academic Officer of the university, so responsible for academic affairs, faculty affairs, including hiring, promotion, and tenure of the faculty, and overseeing the research program of the university.
When we talk about Black history and we think about your story, if you look at it just on the piece of paper, it is an interesting story. Born in Haiti to New York, mechanical engineering, dean, provost. That's a good story.
Yeah, no, it is a good story, and I'm blessed. I always tell people I certainly worked hard, but I'm certainly blessed. I've had some good mentors along the way, and luck always plays into some of these things. And so, yeah, we had two parents who always stressed the importance of hard work, sacrificed a lot for us to get where we are. My siblings and I came from Haiti, really struggled early on in Brooklyn, and then made sure that we had everything that we can to have a good education. And so I feel very fortunate.
Where are you in the kid?
I'm the youngest of four.
Okay.
I'm the youngest of four. So, yeah.
So by then, there were some things going on in Haiti that your parents felt, okay, it's best for us to leave.
Absolutely. So we left. We came in '68 during Papa Doc's era, not Baby Doc, and it was a time where there was a shortage of nurses here in the U.S. And so my mother was able to come over with the four of us initially without Dad, and she worked 2 8-hour shifts every day, just trying to make it through. And then my dad came a year later.
So she was a nurse. What did your dad do?
My dad was in an accounting area. Neither of them had college degrees, but they both had multiple jobs in the U.S. And as a typical Caribbean, you always have a couple of jobs.
Sure.
and so we ended up moving to Queens and living in a working class Caribbean community in Queens, and just a typical great community.
New York has a great reputation for the melting pot thing. As you were growing up, were there any things that happened in your life that let you see bias that could inhibit your progress if you allowed it to?
Yeah, I think, being in the Caribbean and not having, particularly my parents, not having seen the type of racism that exists in the U.S. When we moved to Queens, we lived in a Caribbean community, and literally across the freeway was a predominantly white community that had better schools and better playgrounds, and we couldn't go there. And so it became clear to us that the society still has some challenges in terms of the differences between how some communities are based and versus others.
As you were growing up, did your parents stress for you not to think of anything related to color, but just your achievement?
Absolutely. They always told us if you work hard, there's nothing you cannot do. And that was the mantra the entire time. Keep working hard, get a great education, and you can do anything you want, you put your mind to.
This process going forward, how did you end up becoming an engineer?
Yeah, so after high school, I decided to study engineering because I love math and science. I didn't like the other subjects, history and English, and I didn't do as well, perhaps because I wasn't a native English speaker. And so I ended up studying mechanical engineering at UC Berkeley. And then from there, the earthquake happened in 1989. I got fascinated with earthquakes and how structures behave in earthquakes, and decided to go on to get a master's and a PhD in civil engineering, studying earthquake engineering.
Now, as an engineer, on one hand, you're doing things that don't have anything to do with leadership. But as a dean, that is all about leadership. And you had other leadership positions as you came into this.
Right.
How did that develop for you?
Yeah, so I had my first leadership job maybe 5 or 6 years into my first assistant professor job at Georgia Tech. So after completing my PhD at Berkeley, I went to Georgia Tech, became an assistant professor, and did the normal things professors do. You do research and you teach. And about 5 or 6 years in, somebody tapped me to be an associate department chair, so helping the department chair. I did fairly well in that, and then I became the department chair there. I did that for 5 years, and then I got the call to be dean at Rice.
What do you tell people who are studying Black history? They see you, they see your face, they see your history. What do you tell them about their abilities, about their chances of succeeding? Obviously, in our society, even as we are dealing in 2020, we're still seeing firsts happen. So there's still room for improvement in a lot of areas. What do you tell people who are talking?
There is. I tell them there's nothing that you cannot do. If you put your mind to to it, you can absolutely achieve whatever you want to achieve. And I also tell them that of the importance of them. Oftentimes I get students coming to my office saying, well, I'm not sure, minority students, I'm not sure if I want to do this. I don't see a lot of people that look like me. I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and get a PhD. And I tell them that's why you want to do it. It's so important that you do it so that others can see faces like them, because it has a huge impact on kids if they see somebody that looks like them.
You're young. I think of you as young.
Not as young as I used to be.
Have you thought about what kind of legacy you want to leave? Obviously, as a father of children,
Sure.
Fathers think about what we want our kids to think. But what about you as a professional, what you're doing now, making strides? What kind of legacy do you want to leave?
I really haven't thought much about a legacy. People are focused on the fact that I'm the first black, dean and then first black provost. I want to be the best provost Rice has ever had. That's sort of my goal, and absolutely the significance of